Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Some of you probably noticed that in the days after the Paris terror attack hoax of Friday, November 13th, the mainstream media tried to start drawing comparisons between the mainstream reaction to the Kenya attack of April 2nd in comparison to the Paris terror attacks. And this is something the mainstream media loves to do: antagonize its audience, blame its audience, make it seem like it's the audience's fault for what the mainstream media and the powers behind it have done to society purposefully. If you forgot this story, on April 2nd, a very coded date, supposedly in Kenya, terrorists attacked a university, killing 147 people. For the majority of the day, the body count was at 70. Then it jumped up to 147 by the end of the day. Remember, in Paris, they said 18 were dead, then 43, then 60, then 153, then down to 129. Anyhow, if you missed this story, what I want to show is how the mainstream media teaches racism, reinforces it, and even codes it into their stories. So that day it started with terrorists kill 70. Like I said, it was there for most of the day before jumping to 147. This happened on April 2nd, 4/2. Remember, 42 is a number coded all over black Americans, often in a negative way. The word nigger has a gematria of 42. A lot like 4/2 for April 2nd. Remember, there's a Hawaii in Kenya, and a lot of people theorize that President Obama is really from Africa. I don't know if this is true. If it were true, it wouldn't surprise me in the least. And really, I wouldn't even care, because I realize we live in a nation that isn't sovereign. It is contrived madness. We live in a big madhouse. I'm not worried about where the presidents are from. There's a lot bigger concerns for me. But anyhow, a lot of people assert that the president is from Africa. It's interesting to note that there's a Hawaii, Kenya. And this story, from my interpretation, seemed to have a lot of foreshadowing for what might be to come for President Obama. The word president has a gematria of 110 the big way, just like 70, which is what they reported all day before turning it to 147. Garissa, the name of the university that was attacked, has a gematria of 29, and with the S exceptions, 47. The word president, the small way, is 47. In history, Obama reopened Ford's Theater February 11th, 2009, where Lincoln was shot and killed by an actor in a theater, supposedly. Obama's from the land of Lincoln. Obama reopened Ford's Theater on February 11th, 2009. That's the 42nd day of the year. And not only that, it was a date with 42 numerology. 2 plus 11 plus 20 plus 09. 42. So a double 42 coding on the date that the first black president opens Ford's Theater, where Lincoln was assassinated, being from the land of Lincoln. And adding insult to injury, the last time the theater was reopened was in the year 68, just months before MLK was assassinated, who was shot on 4/4. Obama, the 44th president. The last president to die in office, the 44th term president, JFK. Garissa University, Pythagorean, also sums to 110 like president, like the original coding of 70. This is how it's done, Truth Seeker. Terror hoaxes across the world by the numbers. And now in regards to the Paris, France, they want to rub it in people's faces that there's not a big worldwide outcry over the slaughter of more than 100 black people like there has been the slaughter of more than 100 white people. In fact, even more people were supposedly killed in Kenya than they were in Paris, France. Then the mainstream media wants to say this is people who aren't reacting as they should. Well, think about it. It's the mainstream media that has done all this, reinforced the racism, reinforced the stereotypes, taught the hate. This all comes from positions of authority, the people who control government, media, schools. Racism was once taught in schools. I have a video on Piltdown, man, something that most people don't even know about. Piltdown equals 41. The story of Piltdown Man lasted for 41 years. It was supposedly the missing link discovered in the UK, and they used it as proof in classrooms that man evolved in the UK, proof that white people were superior to other races because they had bigger brains. Here's how you spell Piltdown. I have a video all on it. You can look it up and research independently. Our whole history by the numbers, racism is something that has been taught from the top and is reinforced routinely. If you've never seen my other videos on 42 and 59 and how they're coded on black Americans, please check it out. This attack was blamed on Al-Shabaab. Al-Shabaab has the gematria of 47, just like Garissa. Garissa, the big way, is 74, the reflection of 47. This is what goes on in our world, truth seeker. Should also be noted this took place in April. April and Kenya both have the gematria of 56. I don't know how else to express it. This is what's going on in the world. You study this numerology, you study this gematria, you will have some real valuable skills that you can put to work, that you can wake up a lot of people around you with. People need to wake up to truth. It's the only thing that's going to break the madness. Until next time.